Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the Velocity video series tutorial. In this series we're going to explore how to create a React-based application that runs through a Node server. So this won't be a static HTML page that just renders the React components like most beginner React tutorials do. This is going to run actually through a Node server. So we want to incorporate not really a backend yet, but at least a server-based application that runs React on the front end. And it's going to look like this when we run it. So it's very simple, as you can see. However, these are React components that are being rendered through a Node server. Notice here, this is running localhost as opposed to just in a file path to an HTML page. So that's the distinction here. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to change directory to the desktop and create a Node-based application using the Express framework. And we're going to call it React Node. And we're going to cd into the project and run npm install to get all the base packages installed. Okay, good. So we have our Express Node project ready to go. So now we're going to start setting up for React. So we have to run some installs to get that going. So the first thing we want to do is install React. And then we're going to install React DOM. And then we're going to install Webpack. And we want to put this in the save dev section of the package.json. You're going to need Webpack globally installed as well. So if you don't have that, I'll show you in a second how to install that. Okay. To install Webpack globally, you do sudo npm install -g Webpack. So go ahead and do this if you haven't done it already. And once that's done, let's do the next set of installations. Okay, we have to install some Babel modules for transpiling because we're going to write our React code in ES6. This one always takes a while. This one's actually a very, very big package, so it usually takes about a minute or two, so you have to be a little more patient with that one. Let me just take a quick look at our reference package just to make sure I don't forget anything. Core loader preset. Cool. Okay. That's done, and then we want to do Babel core. And then last but not least, the preset for React. Okay, good. So for now, at least all of our packages are installed, and then we need to create a Webpack config file to give Webpack a set of instructions for all the transpiling. So let's go ahead and open up our project in Sublime, and you'll see we have an empty Webpack config file. I'm going to copy this from an old project and paste it in. And here, what's going on is the following. The actual React code will begin here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. However, it can't be read by the browser because React, the way we're going to write it, doesn't use all JavaScript. It uses what's called JSX. So the JSX code has to be transpiled into raw JavaScript, which is what the result is over here. So this Webpack config file tells Webpack where to find the React code, the entry point for React, and then where to direct the output that can be read by browsers, because this is pure JavaScript. Everything else don't worry about for now. It's pretty much hard-coded. You'll probably just use it the same way every time. So go ahead and copy and paste this from the sample project, and if you don't have it, the best way to find it is go to the code vault. If you go to the code vault and download this project right here, you will be using the project that I'm currently building. So if you go ahead and download this, then you will be able to use the Webpack config from that project. And you can just copy and paste that. So velocity360.io/vault. And then this project right here is the one that we will be rebuilding. Good. So now in order to make this Webpack work, we have to actually create these files. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's cd into the public directory and make a directory called app. That is this directory right here. And then we're going to cd into the app directory and create the app.js file, this file right here. Okay, so once we open this up, this is where our React code will begin. So right here, we want to import the React module as well as what's called the component class from React. We also want to import React DOM. Whoops. And then here we're going to create our first React component using ES6. Okay, so what's important to recognize here is that this right here, it looks like HTML, but it's not. It's what's called JSX, JavaScript extension, which is a language that Facebook invented for the purposes of writing HTML, literally raw HTML in your JavaScript files. But however, browsers can't read that, so this code has to be transpiled into regular JavaScript, which is what Webpack and Babel will do for us. So here we want to export. Oh wait, excuse me. We want to use React DOM to render this component. Good. So this is our first component. This is the app.js component, which is the entry point for all the React code. So in order to run it, if we run the server right now, going back to the root directory, if we run the server, you'll see that this is our home page right now. And this page right here is in the views directory. And specifically, it's the index.hjs file. What we want to do is take this index.hjs and replace it with our React code. So we want to create a div with the ID for app. So what's going to happen is that inside the app.js, if you look at this line right here, document get element by ID app, what that means is please find this div with that ID tag with the same name and inject the React code into this div, and that'll be the output you see. However, that's not going to work until we actually transpile the code. So keep in mind, this code is not what gets run. It's the transpiled code over here, which we didn't build yet. So we have to go ahead and do that by opening a new tab and running webpack w. Okay, and that's done. If you were looking closely, you'll see that this new directory just popped up, and this file right here is the compiled version of this React code as instructed by the webpack config. So now inside the HTML, we want to import a script from that directory. Notice how this right here corresponds with that right there. And now when we go back to our code, we should see the React component. And there it is. So this visual you see here is the React component we built right here, as you can see. So that's how you set it up using Node as your server. In the next video, we're going to add a few more components, subcomponents, to this one to make this a little bit more more fleshed out. So stay tuned for that.